What a roller coaster of a game. Dream lose 65-73 over the Chicago Sky. Let's talk about the game. The defending champions coming into town, and the Dream have home court to defend. The last two games they've done just that, but against the champions, well, that sense of urgency only grows. But pretty much every game has seemed like the biggest of the year so far. It's another sellout game, and this team is starting to run out of ways to say it, it seems. And they're very audible on the broadcast as well. And this is how it should always be. It's always just fantastic to hear. A little bit of a personal milestone here. This is the 10th game of the season for the Dream, and the 10th time that I am doing this, and I'm generally enjoying it, and I hope that somewhere out there, someone else is enjoying it as well. So to start the game, Chicago is an absolute brick wall. Defensively, they're stopping the Dream no matter what, no matter where, and offensively, they're just having their way out there, drawing fouls on both sides of the court, even though they have the best free throw percentage in the entire league, and the Dream know this. They're forcing turnovers, stealing, keeping the ball inbounds, and away from the Dream. 5 minutes go by, and it's 16-2. I don't even remember who scored the 2 points for Atlanta. But fortunately, Christy Wallace hits a two-pointer to breathe a little bit of life into this team, still 20-4 halfway through the first. Ari McDonald and Rebecca Gardner chase a loose ball, and Gardner pretty much blows a tire, giving McDonald a clear path foul, and the team unfortunately sacrifices 2 points thanks to the ensuing best free-throwing team in the league. Monique Billings, whose jersey I proudly own, has been irking me lately with missing what looked to be pretty easy layups, and that continued this time around. But she started redeeming herself by bringing some much-needed energy to the Gateway Center by hitting a few two-pointers and 2 free throws at the end of the quarter. She's definitely stopping the bleeding a little bit. Chicago scored on 11 of their first 14 possessions, but only 1 of their final 8 to end the quarter. Thank Monique Billings for that. 26-12 Chicago after 1. The Dream are scoring at a much better pace in the second, Cheyenne Parker getting most of the action, Chicago not scoring as frequently but still scoring. Ryan Howard gets her first points of the game 4.5 minutes into the quarter with 3. She almost hits another one right after but misses. Her rebound picked up by Naz Hillman and thrown to Christy Wallace, who gets the 3. 3 points on the efforts of 3 rookies to help the Dream start to claw their way back into that game, and only 1 turnover that quarter at that point. They only trail by 9. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel pretty good about this. Not to mention, Ryan Howard is becoming a little bit more aggressive with the ball, forcing herself out of coverage, under the rim, slipping past defenders, and just quickly getting the ball to her open teammates and getting some really huge assists. Sky still lead at the half, 39-31, but it's only an 8-point deficit, far better than they were not too long before. The Dream have really been shutting down the Sky on their final possession of the half, something they really need to keep on doing if they're going to turn this thing around. 2 points for the Sky in the last 4 minutes. Another considerable stat here, Atlanta's bench was plus 32 and Chicago's was minus 17. To start the third quarter, Atlanta is still keeping up the scoring to start the third, but so is Chicago. They're starting to push back, but the Dream are making the most of their offensive rebounds and they're getting a lot of second chance points. The Sky, not so much. Courtney Vandersloot committed 3 fouls that quarter, largely because of it. 4.5 minutes left in the third, the Dream are only down by 4 points. And go figure, as soon as I write that down, the Sky hit consecutive threes. They start moving the ball again, and their defense is getting a lot better. Nice little comic relief moment here between Azare Stevens and Nia Coffey. Even the referee is laughing. I really love these little moments. You gotta laugh sometimes, right? A minute and 40 left, the Dream get to within 3. Chicago is responding, but that gap is really closing. Right at the buzzer, Erica Wheeler gets a half-court shot, and the building absolutely erupts. 58-56 Chicago to end the third, and the Dream have all the momentum thanks to Wheeler getting that half-court buzzer beater shot. And if that doesn't make it to the Sports Center top 10, I call BS. Start the fourth quarter, Erica Wheeler dekes right past the defender like she's a hockey player and hits a 2-pointer to tie the game. Down by 20 earlier in the game, and they are back. Naz Hillman blocks Courtney Vandersloot, and the Dream almost take the lead on the ensuing possession. Vandersloot can't find an open teammate from the baseline, gets called, and the Dream take possession. Now, during a scramble for the loose ball here, Nia Coffey fell on Kalia Copper and may have clipped her in the jaw, and the Sky are really calling for a hostile act call, but all they get out of it is a jump ball. Atlanta is cycling with the ball, just constant movement, and it pays off with Ari McDonald giving the Dream their first lead in the game halfway through the fourth quarter. Chicago takes possession, and the Dream are just swarming them. I'm very, very worried about them risking fouls, but fortunately they managed to avoid that, and they're still making the Sky work their asses off for the points they're getting. Rebecca Gardner takes another bump on a block by Ryan Howard, and she comes down really hard on her elbow. Ryan Howard ends up taking a flagrant foul. Fortunately, Gardner isn't hurt too terribly bad, at least it doesn't look like it anyway, and she stays in the game. She missed her free throw, and the Sky can't convert on their possession. Now, since taking the lead, Atlanta hadn't done much offensively, but they are back to committing turnovers again. Fortunately, again, as soon as I write that down, Erica Wheeler comes up clutch again, scoring a 3 and bringing the Dream to within 3 points with 55 seconds left. The Sky keep getting more free throws, though, extending the lead to 5 points with 50 seconds left, and the Dream call a timeout. More made free throws for Chicago. Tanisha Wright calls another timeout, 30 seconds left. It's not enough. They can't do anything with their possessions, and Chicago just gets even more free throw opportunities. 73-65, Sky win. It could have gone to Atlanta. It absolutely could have. It didn't, but I sincerely hope that they don't get discouraged by this. They came back from a 20-point deficit and not only tied the game, but they took the lead. I mean, it didn't last, but they still did it. They have a tremendous amount to be proud of, especially Erica Wheeler. Between just her clutch play in general and that half-court buzzer beater, she was easily the first star of this game. The next game is Sunday, which is the last of 4 straight home games against Indiana. Something tells me I should have a pretty good feeling about this game. I mean, the Dream are going to have a lot to prove on their home court and against a team that they've already beaten twice this year. I'll see you then.